Hello world, I'm Shelby. Today we're talking about the second book in the Throne of Glass series, Crown of Midnight. Let's get into it. First and foremost, spoilers loom upon the horizon. You have been warned. Secondly, I excel at many things. Sadly, pronunciation is not one of them. If I say a character's name or a place or anything else incorrectly, please let me know the correct way to say it below. I could look it up, but the last time I looked something up to review this series, I received spoilers and am extremely disappointed, so I'm avoiding that. Let's recap the series thus far. In Book 1, Throne of Glass, our heroine became the king's champion and crazy magic stuff happened. Today's book, Crown of Midnight, begins with Celaena unwilling to be the king's assassin, even though that is her job, and will win her freedom, and disobeying the king puts her life, the lives of her loved ones, and the lives of her loved ones' families in jeopardy. The rest of the book is a slurry of love story, tragic deaths, more mysterious happenings in the castle, and magic. All of this results in a series of events that gets Celaena sent to another kingdom to murder their royal family, which will occur in the next book. I like how this series is part mystery in addition to romance, adventure, and fantasy, even if some of the quote-unquote big reveals are fairly predictable. The first half of this book is chef's kiss perfection, simply perfection. I loved the love story. It is my ideal reading material. In Book 1, Celaena originally chose to be with Dorian, but ultimately decided it was a doomed relationship, so she ended things. I am proud that she stuck to her word, and despite him having feelings for her, she held her ground on the breakup. That is refreshing in a YA novel. The progression of Celaena's and Chaol's relationship is breathtaking. I flagged multiple quotes and returned repeatedly to read them because they made me feel something. I thoroughly enjoyed it. One thing I disliked was the verbiage for Celaena losing her virginity. The wording rubbed me the wrong way. Yes, losing one's virginity is a big deal. Yes, it should be taken seriously. But it is not giving everything. You are more than your virginity. Nehemia's death was the tragic event in the second half of the book that changed the tone of the story. Celaena blamed Chaol for her friend's death. It was a leap in logic that I'm simply not nimble enough to make with our heroine. I'm still scratching my head over how it is his fault. Regardless, it is revealed that Nehemia orchestrated her own death. This was another plot point in the story that truly bothered me. To whoever needs to hear this, you are important. Your life is valuable. I assure you that you are better off alive. If you feel differently, please talk to somebody. I am curious to see what happens to Dorian, whose magic is now unlocked. Nehemia mentioned that she and he have certain responsibilities. Since her fate meant her death, again, there had to be a better way, but I digress. I wonder what Dorian's destiny is. A new character, Archer, was introduced and killed off in this story. It is truly a shame that he turned out to be the person who hired Nehemia's assassin, because I enjoyed his character. He was a courtesan, and I liked the world building of the underbelly of society. The book ended with the supposedly big reveal of Celaena's true identity as Aelin. Aelin is the assumed deceased princess and heir of the fallen kingdom of Terrasen. This was pretty predictable, if only for two reasons. One, Celaena got really distraught in the first book when someone mentioned knowing about her past and her parents. And two, Celaena repeatedly claimed that it was false that Aelin was rallying rebels. Unless she had some information that other people didn't, it could have been possible for the princess to have made it out alive and started rallying people. Celaena clearly had to have known something. To reveal her true identity, Celaena gave Chaol a date as a clue. This date was the date of her parents' deaths. This honestly was completely ridiculous. First of all, why give him a date when if he gets caught looking up that information, he would probably be sentenced to death? Secondly, he already knew the date. How does giving him information that he already knew help him find out who she is? Somebody, please explain. Now, I love Kaol. I ship him and Selena, and they are my ultimate true pair. But let's take a look at how ridiculous this situation is. He first learned the date of the tragedy of her parents' death on page 166. 247 pages later, Selena mentions the date again. Come on, you couldn't have looked it up in any of that time frame? It's ridiculous. Again, I digress. Let's move on to my final thoughts. Overall, I really did enjoy this book, and I look forward to continuing the adventure that is Throne of Glass. Have a good one!